I don't know where people got the idea, the horrible idea that struggle love is a thing. And people are actually living it. And they ask questions every day. And it puzzles me because I cannot put my head around what they're thinking. How they're trying to rationalize things that I know just don't make sense. What if I told you that people play the roles in our lives that we assign to them? And many of us have assigned the role of God to people with our lives. And that's what they're acting out. Like we've signed a contract with them. You see, you want respect and peace in your interactions, but it's always been yours though. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have so much confidence and are respected compared to you? Even sometimes people who don't look it, people who shock you with their self-assuredness, and you look at them in wonder and you wonder, how are they this bold? And you wish that you could have a fraction of their boldness or assuredness. Let me tell you, they are operating from a mindset, and that is the big difference. Getting the respect that you've always expected has always been within your reach, but many of us take these things for granted. And there is no surprise there though, because we often take the simplest things for granted. Let me share with you how easily available it is. What if I tell you now that many of the things that we seek have always been there for our taking, if only our eyes were opened to seeing and understanding? Starting today, I want you to ask yourself why you never take this statement serious. That you were made in the image of God. Is it possible that you just can't imagine little you being so great? And yet you want to say that you believe in other things that the Bible says, right? So now do you see that it starts with you? It starts with us and our perception. It starts with you deciding by yourself to reject the greatness that was proclaimed on your behalf. The greatness that said that you were made in the image of God. You totally reject that, but you pay lip service to it. You say it, but you don't mean it from your heart. You don't mean it in your heart. And this is what I always say, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you see, perception isn't always reality. It starts from the spirit. It starts from the mind. Because of the way that you're looking at yourself and the way that you're thinking of yourself, what you're doing in the physical is what is manifesting from the spirit. And that is part of the explanations when we say that we're spiritual beings. And that the spiritual is what influences the physical. The spiritual is what manifests in the physical. Because do you know that even people who don't believe in God use the same proclamation that they were made in the image of God? They use it every day in their daily lives, even if that's not what they're thinking. They use it every day to get what they want from other people, from you. Of course, that's what they're doing if you really think of it. When you really think about it, what do you think it is? Or how else would you explain when they treat you like you don't matter? Like you're there for their own delight. That's exactly what they're doing. They're living as a God in your life. Well, before I finish this video, you know the funny thing? I wrote this last night with the intention of recording it today. And then I wake up this morning and one of the first messages that I received is from my cousin, and he sent me this video.
The white man today is the clearest example that God lives, moves, and acts through human beings. You sit around, you see it rain. Oh, it's raining. You say, God did that. You hear thunder. God is talking to his children. White folks say, it's raining. How does that happen? He said, I can do that. Now he seeds the clouds and makes rain. Talk to me. You see the sun. Isn't it marvelous? Ooh, look at that sun. White folks say, I can do that. He experiments with the atom of the hydrogen. Now he says, I can create a sun. God said he's going to make life. You sit around and say, look at it, isn't it wonderful what God had done? White folks say, sure he is. He gets in a laboratory and say, now look what I have done. God put a planet in space spinning. White folks say, that's marvelous. I'm going to put me something up and let it spin too. You sitting around talking about it's a shame the way people is these days. I don't know what done got into the people. They so crazy. White folks say, I know what got in them all right. He's now studying the DNA, going into the very genetic coding of the thing to cut out the infirmity or to add in something. He's not a fool. He's showing you that God was, God is, God shall always be a human being working through human beings for the benefit of human beings. And you that are looking for God in space, you will always be the slave of a man who knows the reality of God. And that is why you are under white people and they are over you, because you are worshiping a mystery God. And the white man says, I am God and I will make you bow down and worship me.
So they're living in your life like a God while you are their slave. So it's almost like you are worshiping them. It's almost like this is now idol worship. Like you are taking them as God in your life because they're treating you like you are there for them to use as they want to achieve their own purpose. Here's something that is very strange, very uncanny. I had actually used this particular guy as an example when I was explaining to someone that some people actually put themselves over other people as though they were God over other people, only to see this afternoon, just as I was putting this video together. This man actually wrote this directly. This is a man who beat up somebody who came to deliver stuff to him, said he was speaking to him rudely, was asking him, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? With so much arrogance. So you see, and this guy captioned his video last year, 2023, November. He made a video and captioned it that man rules over nature and over whatever. What does it tell you? Even if he didn't mean that directly and consciously, it means that maybe in his subconscious, this is the way he moves through life and the way he moves in the world. So I am telling you, understand this. That is why everything that we do stems from the way we think of ourselves in our minds. So guys, read the caption in this man's video very, very well. If there is nothing else that you take away from this video, understand that what I've just explained to you is real. And I just saw this video matching exactly what I was saying in this episode. This is life, guys. Take it to heart. And they get their way and you don't. So now it's like you've taken a position where they can have their will. Their will is what is done in your life. Their will is done in your life. So somebody tell me you understand this. If this is an idol worship, it is. It is. Because this person has become so great that you can't complain about what they're doing and you cannot refuse what they're doing. They're playing God in your life and you're allowing it. That is exactly what it is, because you know that you felt that way many times. You felt like they are controlling your life. Many times you feel like they are controlling you. So just a reminder, brother and sister, just a reminder, my people, this is you doing some sort of idol worshipping. So I wrote back to my cousin and I was like, oh my gosh, look, I wrote almost exactly this. It's like you're bugging my phone now. This video you sent me is exactly what I wrote last night, or very close to it. So you see, this message is is very appropriate, and it's another confirmation to you that what I have just told you is nothing but the truth. It's the truth. And if it's occurring to some of us like this, it's just that it hasn't occurred to you. Some of us don't get it, and some of us get it. And this is the pure difference. The reason why some people stay in a place of pain, and some of us are looking and we're wondering, does this person not recognize what is going on here? Why are they living in so much misery? So with this explanation that I've just given you, it's up to you to understand that you must adopt this. You must adopt this for yourself as well. But the difference is that you will not be treating others like they're there for you to use at your disposal. But what you will now operate from is from a place of wisdom with your true identity. Your true identity as a person who was created in the image of God. And you will not be allowing yourself to be subject to a position of being used disrespectfully, disdainfully, and thrown away. And so with this mindset that you're made in the image of God, now let my next word sink in. Today should be the last day that you ever allow others to mistreat something or someone that represents the image of God. And I say that like this because I mean, even if you wouldn't do it for yourself, do it for that reason. Take yourself out of the equation and take yourself as someone or something that represents the image of God. So if you're outside of this thing and you're watching it, would you allow something or someone that is representing the image of God to be disrespected and treated disdainfully? All of a sudden you're seeing it in a different light now, right? You wouldn't do that. But that is exactly what you do when you allow yourself to be treated like that shabbily. Imagine that God entrusted something to you, or that you were told that this thing is representing the image of God, is representing God. How would you defend that thing? So if at all you feel like you are too little to look at yourself as the image of God, now look at that thing that has been placed in your hands for you to take care of. This thing is representing the image of God. How do you care for it? Going forward, you should now understand that you cannot allow this thing that has been kept in your care to be treated with disdain. Because I understand that you may not be used to thinking of yourself like this, so I know that it may take you time. But the point is that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And I understand that you haven't been used to doing this, and you're now in your adult life, and for over 25, 30 years, 40 years, you haven't been used to doing this, so it might take some time. And so that's why I say put that aside and just look at yourself as something or someone that represents the image of God. So you start here first with this video. If you want to live a life like this going forward, smash that subscribe button now, give it a thumbs up, and come back to the next episodes where I'll keep telling you the different ways to crack the code so that you can implement and embody this quality without feeling like you're doing something outside of character. I'll make it make sense to you so that you can literally see it before your eyes and understand what your actions and your mindset and your perceptions and the way that you're perceiving things are leading you to work against yourself. I always say that you cannot control the next person, but what you can do is to control yourself, and it all starts from the mind. It all starts from the mind. So here, the whole intention is to consciously empower us to have a shift in perception and mindset, because your perception isn't necessarily reality. Because when you're perceiving things from the wrong position, that wrong point of view is what's going to keep you in a place of pain. But we're here to banish struggle love. We're going to do it together. We are going to do it together. I will show you how that change in perception and a shift in your mindset will turn your life around going forward. And the best thing is, it's a community where only people who believe in this will be here. Because here will be where you can find people who are like you, people who don't want to do struggle love, people who don't believe in struggle love. And we'll be having live sessions together so that we can mingle and share ideas, and I will teach you how to navigate those difficult situations and conversations to ensure that you don't live a life of struggle love. This is a great place to be. This is a great place to be. I'll be leaving a link in the bottoms of the videos in the description box so that you can always join the live sessions, the conversation sessions, so that we can all get in there together and talk. So you can ask me questions about how to respond to different scenarios and different circumstances that come up, where you're finding it difficult to represent this image of God. And you can learn how to create relationships where there is no struggle love with someone who also does not believe in struggle love. And that is one of the things. You need to be working with someone who does not believe in struggle love, because some people actually have that idea. Some people have told me that this is how life is. They say things like there will always be problems in relationships. Relationships are complicated. And I say no, this is just not true. There will be problems because we're living human beings and we live on earth, and there will be different challenges. Those are the challenges that we're supposed to be dealing with, not when we get together with something that is just working against us. We're fighting a losing battle already. It's like you're speaking French to someone who speaks only Yoruba, and you don't want to be doing that. If you've ever paid attention, you will understand that you cannot change another person, not by all the things that you do, because they've come to the world with their experiences and their background, and they are who they are. They're looking at life the way that they're looking at life because of their background. So it's not about you trying to change them. It's about you coming with your best foot forward, with your best intentions, doing your best for the next person, and knowing that you deserve the best as well. But it's got to be with someone who understands that in the first place. That is rule number 2. You are made in the image of God, rule number 1. Rule number 2, you cannot be... What's the meaning of being unequally yoked? You see, all these things are not about... It's not for Christians. It's about life. It's about life. Because these are the things that play out in natural life. So if we're paying attention, unfortunately, even though these things have been at the tips of our fingers, we pay lip service to them because we don't have those types of conversations. We just have surface conversations where we read out things, we verbalize them, but they don't take root and fertilize in our souls. Because if they did, the fruits would be in our lives. So let's begin now to change the narrative. I tell you, we've all been unconsciously, subconsciously programmed for pain, and it is totally unnecessary, and we're going to reprogram ourselves to live the life that we're supposed to live. This is a beautiful thing that we have going on here. I am so excited. Now I'm going to wait for a quarter of a minute just for you to subscribe. Have you subscribed? You like this? So let's come back for the next episodes so that you can begin to live the life that you long for. All right then? See you.